Well, it's Sunday and it's another stretchy yoga that I have planned. This is for spring because you can feel spring everywhere, and so I'm practicing in the backyard, and I hope that you can enjoy this day too, and that it brings you all the joys that spring in its newness does. We're going to stand up to begin now. All right. So we're going to stretch the whole body today, and it's a short practice, just getting into all those areas so that we can release the tension and go into our work week and be productive. So take your feet about hip width apart, and then just find your footing on the ground, stack your vertebrae up, and we're going to take some deep breaths in here. Lift your arms if you're called to as you begin to root into the earth, stretching up on the inhale. And then exhale, just letting that release softly. And still feeling that gentleness and connection with the earth. Inhaling, connecting to the breath, expanding up to the sky. And exhaling, releasing. Inhaling, lifting up. And exhaling. Inhale, lift up, open your eyes. We're going to squat down just a little bit. So keeping the thighs parallel, feet really rooted in the earth and mostly in your heels. So feel the weight shift to your heels a little bit. Spread the toes a little wider and sink a little deeper. Keep lifting up. Inhale. And exhale, you're just going to drop down over your legs. Let the head release. You can clasp your elbows. Inhaling, maybe swaying side to side, feeling your body here. And then let the fingers come to the ground or to your thighs. Inhale, lengthen the spine out. Exhale and fold, and as you inhale, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Exhaling when you get to the very top. Finding that centered and rootedness in your body. Feeling the earth underneath us. Inhale, lifting all the way up again. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. And inhaling, floating those arms up one more time. And exhaling, feeling that slow release. Then inhale and lift up, open the eyes, place the hands so the palms are flat up towards the sky. Find your balance here like you're holding up the sky in the palm of your hand, pressing against that sky, but really feeling the pressure press you into the earth. Take a deep breath in here, inhale. And as you exhale, release all the way down to the earth. Let your arms go how you're called. Let your head hang. Maybe clasp the elbows again. Sway side to side. And then let the fingertips touch the earth or your shins. Inhale. Lengthen out. Exhale and fold. And we're going to roll up again. And so as we roll up, let the hands stop on the thighs. Inhale and lengthen out. Push against the thighs. Push the thighs into the palms of the hands. And then exhale and release and roll all the way up. 3 deep breaths in here again. Inhaling, making that connection to the earth, rooting down, finding space in your body. Hold that longer breath now. Exhaling, releasing softly. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Take a deep breath in, coming up, and this time we're going to really press our palms up to the sky. We're going to take it back. So we're going to open up to the sky and take it back slightly. So you still want to have that firm foundation. Imagine pushing up the sky. The legs have to absorb it, but the upper body is going to reach. So you want to keep that sacrum pointing down, the little triangle pointing down at the earth by engaging your lower abs when you do this. So if that is too much, just push up to the sky with what you have. We're going to open up the front line of our body. So take a deep breath in. Inhale, lift up. Push up to the sky. Feel that. And then, as if you were holding the sky, but you want to look up at what you're holding, keeping that sacrum down, drawing in the lower belly. Go ahead and stretch up, reaching. And then inhale here, and as you exhale, let those arms drop to a Y and a W. And fold forward, exhale. And pet the cat if you have one handy. Clasp the elbows, maybe sway side to side. And then when you're ready, roll up one vertebrae at a time. And we're going to take those deep breaths in. We have one more go around here. Inhaling all the way up. Exhaling down, feeling the life around you. That connection to the sun. And fresh air. And your other living entities around you. Last time, inhale, lifting up. Exhaling down. And then just place the hands on the hips. So we're going to take the next move into sun salutation to warm up, and then we'll be seated to stretch. And I like to do that just so that my muscles are warm when I stretch. But sometimes I start in the stretch. So we're going to do the same thing, opening up our front line, and as we do it from this angle, it looks like I'm jutting my hips forward, but I'm not actually. I'm going to stay really rooted. My legs are a little closer together now. You could try that. It's just going to stretch you in a different way, and it will limit your range of motion. So you think about holding up the sky, and then you lift up on your chest to lean back, but the lower body stays anchored. Even as I'm back, I'm still engaged by drawing my lower belly in, and I'm going to cinch my abs here. So it's a work in progress. You can also take your hands back on your back to support, and this is just developing awareness of that belly that holds us strong. So this is why I love yoga, because you really learn a lot about what is the structure of your body, and then hopefully we can apply that to stay strong and resilient and flexible as we go out into the world. So inhale, engage, sink in, lift the hands up, push to the sky. And then just like you want to hold that structure, you're still holding it up, but you just want to get a peek at what you're holding. And inhale. And drink in the sun, and the fresh air, and the warmth of spring. Exhale, dive down. Plant the hands on the ground or on your shins. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, plant the hands and step back into your plank. So knees up or down. We're just going to be here for a moment, spreading the shoulders, the collarbones, maybe rocking side to side here, just plugging into the earth. And taking some breaths in here, inhaling, feeling the expansion and the structure that holds us here. Exhaling and feeling how your body touches the rest of the setting. Just taking in all those elements here, within and without. And then lower the knees. Inhale. Exhale all the way down. Scoot the cat over. And then the hands are going to go right under the shoulders, and just inhale up for a little cobra. Very gentle cobra. You can take your head to one side or the other, maybe around in a little circle. And that usually will tell you what range of motion you're in. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, draw that lower belly in and roll back into child's pose and bring your knees together. So you want to try to get as small as you can. So move whatever you need to out of the way to make yourself kind of rounded. And then let your head come to where it feels good, tucking it as if you could touch your forehead to your knee or your nose to your knee. And really sit back on your heels, but draw the lower belly up. And then breathe. All those things. And from this very rounded and intense position, think of yourself as that first seed you put in the ground. It's springtime. So I'm reading a really interesting book right now. And I will post the link, but I liken it to the spring process, that seed that germinates all winter long and then springs out of the ground. And you're in this rounded seed position. And you're going to breathe into this super challenging position, that transition that a seed has to make before it becomes the next thing. That's a challenge. And who knows if that seed's going to make it. That little seed doesn't know. It's just doing its seed thing. So breathing here, trying to let the flow of energy breathe into your being and into your seed in this intensely rounded position. So gently and slowly inhale. And as you exhale, place your hands on the ground and roll up very slowly. And then come into a position that's comfortable for you. So either seated on a blanket. I am on my knees right now. Part of my warm-up would be to facilitate some bend in my knees and some comfort in this position, which is good for digestion and for your energy to flow as you're moving it through your body, but definitely a work in progress to get here. And stay here. So I'm going to practice on my knees, but you practice on whatever position is comfortable for you. And this posture only goes anti-clockwise. So we're only doing it anti-clockwise. And the position that you set in will dictate the area or region in your body that it will address. And usually if you're in a seated position with your in easy pose, it will be more upper body. It's more of a Sufi grind. You're massaging all the organs, including your heart. And then in this position, it's a little bit limited, so it really works on the digestion. So we're only going to go anti-clockwise, which will look opposite to you. You want to go to the left. So because it's a very specific warm-up for the digestion. Great to do in the morning, and I do it before and sometimes after meals too. But no more than like 3 times a day. All right, so here we go. If you're seated on your knees, you're going to place your hands on the knees. And if you're, I didn't say that right. You can see I need it. If you're seated on the knees like I am, you want your hands on the knees. And if you're seated in easy pose, you want your hands on the knees. And you're going to restrict your movement to the plane that is parallel to the ground. So it is this kind of movement. And you'll see, you're going to push the chest forward and inhale. And as you exhale, go backwards. And you're trying to stay very grounded here, just like we did in the feet. Lower body stays grounded. And we're going to move around here only to the left. And so this is a really nice way to get into, if you're on your knees, the thoracic area and starting to get in the kidney area and lower back. And I really like this movement in this fixed position. It seems to really soothe my digestion, which is one of my challenges, and it really warms me up for the day, gets my metabolism going, and settles my adrenals a little bit, I find. So hopefully it'll help you too. And we just do it for about a minute. And compassionately. You know, some days it doesn't quite feel as good. This is the middle of the day on a beautiful Sunday with my beloved Nala cat in front of me, visiting. Inhaling forward and exhaling back. And you kind of get into a motion where you can just kind of hang out here and it feels really nice. Dependable almost, familiar. And inhale to come forward. And exhale to center. And wherever you are, just sit for a moment. And then blink the eyes open and come to a seated position if you're not already in easy pose. And we're going to take the feet and we're going to place them together. So the goal is for the stretch. So I'm going to move back just a little bit. I don't want to move her. I probably should though, you know. She's just happy here, so I'll just turn to the side because, you know, that's how I roll. And that's like what I would say about yoga in general is just like it can be done anywhere. It really is like a kind of moment. Mindfulness, the moment doesn't need changing. She can stay here. I can adjust. She is very demanding, but she's also a source of joy. And she's docile, but she's never docile. Her claws are out right now. So we're going to bring our feet together, and I'm more in a diamond shape, but you could also bring it closer together. So today I want to stretch my inner thighs, so my feet are a little closer together, and I'm rolling when they're closer together like this, you roll the bottoms of your feet up towards the sky like a flower. So I'm still in like that spring mode right there. But for the comfort of the knees, sometimes it's easier to take them out and bolster them. So props of comfort, depending on what you want to stretch. So you're going to get more of a rounding with the feet out, and here you're going to get more of an inner thigh with a lot of range of motion limitations in your lower back here. It's going to keep you fixed. So either way, it doesn't really matter. So not essentially. So in a comfortable position that you feel comfortable in, and then this is the challenge. We're going to lean forward, but we want to stay upright like we practice. So we're going to open our chest up to the sky. And so to do that, you're just going to hold gently on the legs and lift the chest and look up and breathe here. It doesn't have to be high. You might feel some engagement in the core. You might feel it in the belly. Sometimes your belly will cramp here. You can also pull the shoulder blades together, but you want to make sure your neck feels good here. You're just looking up, drinking the sun. And then exhale, and you're going to come back to center. So center might feel really good, and if that's the limit that you're going to put on yourself for this exercise. So we're going to be taking it from that extended position where we're looking up. I'm gently holding onto my ankles, still letting my knees drop down, engaging my lower core, inhaling, and then as I exhale, I'm going to come through center, and I'm going to round forward and draw my lower belly in, tuck my chin, and kind of drape there. So I'm not really using any momentum. I could put my hands here for support. And then I'm going to inhale. I'm going to do the same thing. Coming back through center, looking up. And exhaling. And inhaling. And exhaling. And inhaling. And exhaling. And then inhaling, coming straight back up and just relaxing there for a moment. So as you sit in this posture, we're going to do little head circles, and I invite you to take it gently, so it doesn't have to go backwards to be a head circle. Could be right in front of you, but notice those places that may feel vulnerable and need a little extra love, and consider lingering there. The breeze here in my garden reminds me to take a breath. And often when I do these things where I round my spine, I might feel a little nauseous or lightheaded, and neck circles need a lot of oxygen and compassion. And as you let your chin come towards the chest, go ahead and reverse the circle. Breathing mindfully. And as the chin comes to the chest, let it rest there. And you can either inhale and gently come up, or you can place the palm of the hand on the forehead, both hands, and push with the hands for the head to come up. And I learned that one through basically through like a yoga therapy class that I took, and I think it has been the nicest thing, especially like after physical endeavor where you're really tense in your neck and shoulders. I think assisting your head is such a beautiful way to assist something that holds your head up like all the time, like 24 hours a day your neck is doing that. So all right, so now we're going to take our feet out in front of us and we're going to put them together. So your knees can be slightly bent. It helps to have a prop of comfort nearby, so you might want to have a pillow or something that you can lay across and just kind of rest here. And today what's going to happen is I'm going to leave you in this position, and we'll see where it goes from that with my beloved cat. But we're going to stretch all the way into our back in this forward position, and it's going to be a yin position. So I'm going to leave you here in this position. We'll get into extended leg position. You have a prop. We're going to fold forward. First we'll do it with structure, and then after we do that we'll sink into the posture. Take a deep breath in, and we're going to press up to the sky with those palms. And inhale. Exhale the hands to the earth. Stack the vertebrae. Inhale. Feel your sits bones making contact with the earth. You want to feel that contact. Inhale. Exhale. Let the shoulders relax down. Inhale, lift the hands back up again, press them up to the sky, press big and tall, get long, like you're holding up the sky here, and it's pressing you into the earth, and you can really feel it. Exhale and release. Stay here, lengthen the vertebrae, feel the earth in your fingertips. Stack the vertebrae, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. So feeling really big and strong, hold in the lower abs, feel the sacrum reach for the earth. We're going to lift the hands back up, press, and then we're going to look up to the sky, and we're going to float down over our legs. So if you need to bring your hands to the earth, please do. If it feels like too much of an extension, you can keep the hands back on the sacrum here and just open up from this position. You want to really feel rooted in your sacrum. So I'm pulling in my lower abs, pushing my heels into the earth, feeling that sacrum sinking down, feeling my two sits bones and everything else like kissing the floor. And I'm going to lift up, inhale, lifting, engaging through the core, lifting up towards the sky, and then just taking a gander at the sunlight. And another deep breath in here, and exhale, floating down. As I settle in here, I'm going to go ahead and release my feet, let my head rest if I want. Could prop myself, folding within. Staying in this posture and breathing in and out, letting the breath lengthen and run through you like a river, like a thread that consists in all of us and connects us to one another. So deep breath in, and out. Thinking of that seed growing in energy and power to break its hard shell and expand outward and downward and upward, seeking the sun. Breathing in a different kind of way, but in the same way that we do. Receiving and allowing the universe to nurture us with some basic needs for us to grow. And as you're in this posture, continue to breathe here, in and out. Out of the posture, you want to place your hands on the ground or on your legs. So you want something firm, and just stay down there, take some deep breaths in, and realize you're going to come out of the posture. So bring your awareness back into your body. Take a deep breath in, maybe connect to your heartbeat if you haven't already, and see how calm it is, or maybe it's beating fast as people do in yoga class. They can't wait to get on to the next thing. Take a deep breath in and press into the earth, and with 3 breaths, try to come all the way back up to seated, but don't move from there. Stay in a seated position with your legs outstretched, and then as you come into that position, kind of bring the big toes together and shimmy the legs a little bit. Bring some warmth into the legs if you need to. Maybe bend the knees and bring yourself into a seated position. And then as we come into the seated position today, I want to thank you for joining me here. I so appreciate you coming. It's been a really difficult school year. I know many people feel that way. And so important that we're able to be together and be together, like in a calm and unstressed way, and find that together, I find. So I hope that this brings you a little peace before our next week of school, those of you who are joining us, and those of you who aren't, I'm sure that your work week too feels the same as ours sometimes does. So thank you so much for joining us. Rubbing your hands together. Taking that moment to breathe together. Just bring them to the heart center. Stack the vertebrae. We can say, I can say, I feel you, heart. I feel your beating. I affirm its beating. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhaling. And exhaling. And one last time together, inhaling. And exhaling. Just bringing the hands to the third eye. And taking a moment here in gratitude of this beautiful spring day. Inhale. And for each and all of you, I wish you many blessings and Sat Nam. Namaste.